does feel a little bit, oh my God, is this far right? Or is this just somebody celebrating the Euros? But I suspect it might be a lot more to do with the former.
Flag-waving losers. I'm afraid these jobless yobbos are just acting like people in a school playground.
How do you know they're jobless?
You don't just get because they've clearly got nothing better to do.
The reason the far right picks up these flags and has consistently, since the 60s, 70s, since my parents' generation have been in this country, is because these flags represent the racism which they are putting out into the world.
F you, you absolute asshole. That is not why we pick up our flag. We pick up our flag because we are proud of our country. It's the war of the flag. Patriots raise the colours. Labour councils take down the Union Jacks and St George's flag, but leave the Palestine and Pakistani standards in place. Oh, and the corrupt anti-English Britain-hating MSM, not to mention Slippery Starmer's cabinet, are now shamelessly linking our national symbol to racism and an invisible far right. But patriots up and down the country who are deeply disturbed about the direction of our disunited kingdom are fighting back.
Someone's come to help us.
We need a bigger ladder.
We need a bigger ladder.
British.
Yes.
To England. You get me? You're not in Africa.
That's it.
He's going to take our flag down, people. They're going to take our flag down.
We're putting them fucking higher. Yeah, get it as high as you can, lads. Fucking mint. Put one on the moon if we could. Well, the man on the moon's at the top of the road, so we could go up there. They're not coming down. We're getting these higher, right in the fucking flagmobile. We're getting them fucking higher because it's been taken down a couple of times. So they're going somewhere where people can't reach. And that is the end of that.
As Lee Harris celebrated after Birmingham Council removed England flags and Union flags from lampposts, the lads with the cherry picker are out again and they're putting them back up even higher. You absolutely love to see it. There's a serious point to this, of course, though, as Tommy Robinson pointed out. Birmingham City Council can't collect the bins, but they're out in mere hours to remove St George's Cross from roundabouts. In Tower Hamlets, the deep, dark heart of lawless London undercity Khan, it's impossible not to feel this patriot's frustration.
I'm not going to find that out quite easily. No, but I want you to tell me these. So you're on the front line made to look like a complete and utter idiot. Right. Yeah, because if you're here, the whole of the Isle of Dogs has paid for these flags to be hung, for you to authorise them to be taken down. And then you're out here on the front line.
I'm not going to argue.
You can't argue, mate. You've tried to steal them. Officer, the rest of our flags that we have bought with our own working money, he has thrown in the bin. I want them back. That's theft because of your refusing to give back the flags. That's theft. They can be where they want. What about when all the Palestinians are up?
And no wonder he's angry. No wonder he's angry because, as Chris Rose pointed out, there are complete double standards in Tower Hamlets. Look at what they figure is okay. Look at what isn't okay. And the mayor of Tower Hamlets, Lutfer Rahman, supports the display of flags when it suits him, like the Palestinian flag to express solidarity with Gaza. Great silent disruptors, though, are having fun with this. By painting roundabouts with the England flag, it's becoming a trend across the nation. Watch.
Come on! Uh-oh! Oh! Oh! What's he say? Hey?
Got to go over there and have a chat.
No.
Or how about this genius idea? All we have to do is paint the St. George's Cross inside potholes and the council will fix them within 24 hours. Brilliant. But of course, there's a dark side to this. The mainstream media are now explicitly linking what is a great patriotic display to an invisible far right and even overt racism, with the truly despicable Good Morning Britain on Woke ITV deciding Kendry Andrews, the author of The Psychosis of Whiteness, was the right person to invite on about this.
It's not that the far right have co-opted the flag. It's the fact that we don't seem to understand what this country is and the history of these symbols. So both of these flags which you've displayed here, those are the flags which flew on ships which enslaved my ancestors. Those are the flags which the British Army marched into places like India, Pakistan, Bengal, Africa, and colonized 25% of the world. The reason the far right picks up these flags and has consistently, since the 60s, 70s, since my parents' generation have been in this country, is because these flags represent the racism which they are putting out into the world.
F you, you absolute asshole. That is not why we pick up our flag. We pick up our flag because we are proud of our country. But unbelievably, even worse, and set to make my blood pressure go even higher, was the show's presenter, Adil Ray.
There is an association, certainly between the St. George's flag and far-right racism. How do we combat that? Because that can be unnerving and unsettling. I mean, when I drive back to Birmingham now, I do a section of the M5, and all the bridges, as you get into M5, for the first time, I've never seen this before. They're covered with St. George's flag. And it does feel a little bit, oh my God, is this far-right? Or is this just somebody celebrating the Euros? But I suspect it might be a lot more to do with the former.
No. It's not. You see racism everywhere, Adil Ray. Because it's what makes you money, you sicko. Benjamin Butterworth was, of course, hauled out on GB News to also throw insults at patriots.
I'm afraid these jobless yobbers are just acting like people in a school playground.
How do you know they're jobless?
You don't just get because they've clearly got nothing better to do.
No,
I did. I'm talking about these people that have got nothing better to do with their lives than go to a random lamppost and hoist flags, which is simply illegal regardless of what flag it is. You're not doing anything patriotic by sticking up the England flag.
What law does it break? What law does it break?
Help anyone. Well, you know full well that...
What law does it break? You told us it's illegal. What law does it break?
Well, it's just like fly posting. That's illegal. You can't stick your Chinese...
It's not. This is our national flag. What law does it break?
Well, I bet you, if you want to chat GPT...
So you don't know.
Okay.
So you don't know it's illegal. You don't know it's illegal. You said it was illegal. I didn't say it was illegal. You said it was illegal, but you don't know because you're making it up.
No, you know full well that you can't just go around public property sticking what you like
what
on
about the Palestinian flags?
Obviously not.
What about...
pull the Palestinian flags down. It's
because
absurd.
you know what?
But these people need to get a grip. They're not doing anything for Britain by flying an English flag on a roundabout.
They are.
They're doing it because they want a fight and they want retweets and they've got nothing better to do.
Ad hominem insults from the nasty left. But I have to say the British Bashing Corporation also shamed itself, as sane lefty Paul Embry explained like this. Absolutely bizarre piece on Radio 4's PM programme about Raise the Colours campaign. Barely any mention of the roots of the campaign or the various political arguments. No interviewees putting the case for or against. Instead, they spoke to the president of the Flag Institute, who spent the entire interview explaining the rules for displaying flags in public. Talk about totally missing the point. What is the purpose of the BBC these days? And he's not exaggerating either. Listen.
War on this exciting new front. You better know the rules, because there are rules about flags and how they're displayed. And Malcolm Ferrer, president of the Flag Institute, can hopefully explain them to us. Malcolm, thank you for your patience and thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Right.
Hello.
Tell us, am I allowed to fly any flag wherever I want? How does it work?
Pretty well, yeah. I mean, flags are governed by advertising consent regulations, which lie within town and country planning legislation. That sounds absurd, but that's the way it is. So you can fly pretty well any flag you like, as long as it's not prescribed as of a terrorist organisation or something like that, which will get you arrested. So yes, you can.
Funny that the BBC never considered running pieces about flags and the legality of where we could fly them when it was the Palestine flag around every damn neighbourhood. But most shameful of all was Slippery Starmer's government, who sent this is a government minister, Torsten Bell, out to Sly News to claim he hadn't even heard of the Raising the Colours movement, but then used being asked about it to attack Reform UK.
Stories recently that Sky News was reporting on yesterday that some local councils have said they don't want flags, either St George's Cross flags or the Union Jack flag, being put up on public lampposts. What's your view, the government view, on whether people should be flying the flag if they desire to do so or not?
I haven't seen any of those stories, but I'll tell you about an important flag, because it was VJ Day last week and I was in Swansea, and we had every city around the country would have had our commemoration ceremonies, and there's a flag in the Minster in Swansea, which is a Union Jack made by people who were prisoners of war, captured in Sumatra during the Second World War, made out of what they could have to hand during that process, and they did that so that they could bury British military servicemen during that war that died in captivity. So flags can be really important. That was a very moving ceremony last week. I don't know about the story you're talking about, but flags are really important, particularly when they recognise our national story.
Flags can be, or the default position is that they are important?
Well, there are Welsh and there are British flags flying in Swansea.
And I asked because obviously it has. Fine.
No,
I
haven't seen the story.
No, that's fine. But obviously Reform have made a point to actively encourage flag flying. I mean, is there anything against that?
Or to encouraging flag flying? No, look, my honest view is that if Reform spent more time worrying about improving public services rather than which flags they were either wanting up or which ones they wanted to ban, then the country would be a better place.
Fair enough.
Notice how the only way he could say that we should be proud of our flag was talking about prisoners of war from decades ago during World War II. And of course, that flag was a great example of when we should use it, but why not back our flag now? Totally tone deaf. And yet the MSM and Labour want to live in an echo chamber where the uprising against the migrant hotels isn't the biggest story in the country, leaving it to independent and citizen journalists to do the work, like Lois Perry, who, as David Atherton explained, visited Southend-on-Sea, which has become hell for the residents, with the seafront avoided by the locals because of the change at the Skylark Hotel.
I was just wondering if I could speak to any of the people in here. I just wanted to have a chat. I just wanted to see what's going on, who's staying here and what's going on. Because my nan's tried to book a room, and it keeps saying that there's a problem with the booking system. That's my ex-husband. He's filming me, because we just want to know what's going on. Because somebody said, and I don't know if it's true or not, that there's 100 migrants staying here. Is that right? Is that right? Is that why I can't book a room? But is there 100 migrants here? Is that correct?
Can I answer your question?
You can't?
I can answer your question.
Why not? But it's just a straight question. Are there 100 migrants here or are there not? Because the hotel's closed to the public, but people are being seen walking in and out. So.
You are not allowed past.
I thought it was a hotel. It's not a hotel.
No, it's not.
Where's the gate?
It's close to the public.
But there's people staying here though.
And of course they wouldn't answer her, but then Lois Perry actually saw one of the migrants and attempted to speak to them. Now, I think the Skylark Migrant Hotel in Southend-on-Sea could become the new Bell Hotel in Epping, because Lois's daughter and her friends now refuse to visit the beach at all.
Hello. Okay, they've been told they're not allowed to talk to us. So, for all the viewers, the Skylark Hotel, Aviation Way, they've gone to a lot of pains to disguise the fact that there are 100 migrants here, and and we're not allowed to talk, we're not allowed to go in, and hopefully another Epping doesn't happen here. Okay, thank you, thanks guys, bye-bye.
But of course it will be another Epping, because this is why today's victory in court by the local council against the Home Office to shut the Bell Hotel is just the beginning. I have described Essex as the ground zero of this movement. But of course, we all need to start thinking about the consequences of shutting these hotels as well, because where are the criminals being put next? given safety is the key priority. That's the point that Conservative Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick, who recently visited Essex, made in The Sun today, revealing that parents are now warning their children to avoid migrant hotspots on the way home from school. He added of his time in Essex, "I spoke to teenagers, parents and grandparents, all rightly concerned about the safety of their community. These weren't racists or far-right thugs. They were mums in pink T-shirts with Union Jack bunting. One mother told me how her daughter's school had written to her suggesting children avoid certain parts of town on their walk home. Her young daughter told me that men from the hotels loiter outside certain spots where they look at us. Another mother told me how her daughter had bought a pair of construction workers' boots to put outside the house to make it look as if there was a man inside. Among everyone I spoke to, there was outrage at how they felt the perfectly legitimate anger over mass uncontrolled migration had been ignored by the government and smeared by an absurdly out-of-touch liberal elite." And Robert Jenrick has now reacted to the decision from the court today to shut the Bell Hotel in Epping, Essex, writing, "Congratulations to the people of Essex. They protested, they were smeared, but they have won. The solution, however, cannot be to move the illegal migrants and force them on another community. This has gone on far too long. The country is well past breaking point. The last government didn't listen and failed. Starmer's making it even worse. Change the law. Get third country deals. Deport everyone who's come here illegally. End this." And of course, it is difficult for a Conservative Party politician to make that argument. But Nigel Farage has also released a statement in the past few minutes, writing, "This is a victory for the parents and concerned residents of Epping. They do not want their young women being assaulted on the streets. This community stood up bravely despite being slandered as far right and have won. They represent the vast majority of decent people in this country. Young, undocumented males who break into the UK illegally should not be free to walk the streets anywhere. They must be detained and deported. I hope that Epping provides inspiration to others across the country." And by the way, none of this feeling is irrational, okay? I just want to show you these horrifying images, which the Grift Report explained shows various videos of weapons from Yemen being housed in this so-called asylum accommodation by illegals. Now, when you see this, don't you wonder why, when you see the lefties protesting outside these migrant hotels with Antifa and the Stand Up to Racism mob, if they ever worry about the proven unsafe criminals being housed inside? Well, Based and Bougie was able to expose them for the champagne socialists they are.
Yes.
Why haven't you done it yet?
Because there's no process to do it.
Man, shut up! Why is there no process?
I don't know.
Well, the process is you just allow them to come into your home and live there. So may I ask you why you haven't done it yet?
Because I haven't had the opportunity.
Oh, let's just hold on. Oh, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. No.
There's many of opportunities. You can go into the hotel and you can tell them to come and live in your house and stay. You can easily do that. So how come now you plan to house the migrants?
How do I plan?
Yeah, what made you change your mind, or what made you have?
I haven't changed my mind. My mind has always been the same.
Okay, so
if there is someone who is looking for a home that is in this country and currently being put up in a hotel or homeless, then to help them.
Could you make us a promise on the screen? Because you said that you are for migrants coming into your home.
Yep.
Can you document you inviting the migrants into your home and living there for 1 month? Would you be able to document that for us?
Yes.
And Based and Bougie joins me on today's Superstar panel now, alongside Stef the Alter Nerd. So Based and Bougie, the reality is these lefties, of course, don't want to house migrants. But I do wonder how on earth they can continue to justify these protests, given the slew of headlines that we are seeing about the crime waves being conducted by the illegal migrants inside those hotels, which, by the way, include consistent sexual assaults on young British women?
I mean, the only thing that would make someone want to defend a criminal is if they're being paid. So now I am fully convinced, and I will do a full investigation on this, that a lot of these people that are a part of Antifa and Stand Up to Racism are being paid. Because I find it so funny how they are holding up these signs talking about stand up to racism, but they're not standing up to racism when it comes to the black people who are slaves in Libya. They're not standing up to racism when it comes to the Congolese and Nigerian Christians that are being assassinated by Islam. They're not even standing up to racism when it comes to the 22-year-old black woman who defended her mum after a migrant tried to walk into her blind mother's home. Why they're not defending that? They're standing outside of Britannia talking about racism. A black woman was just arrested. Go and defend that. So if anyone can help me find that man who said he was going to house that migrant, I promise I will give you not even 100, 200 pounds. I'll up the price if someone can help me find that person who said they're going to house that migrant, because these people are liars and they are paid liars.
He will never do it. He will never do it. But Steph, then we see the mainstream media jumping all over this Raise the Colours campaign, which I think has been brilliant. And I would argue revealing their true colours as Britain haters, as England haters. Because you saw that from Good Morning Britain. They're not even trying to hide the fact anymore, Steph, that they link our beautiful Union Jack, our beautiful St. George's flag directly with the far right, I believe an invisible far right, and with racism.
Yeah, first and foremost, I may have to restart my router in a minute because I'm trying to figure out why Zoom is having a little problem with me.
Okay,
so apologies for the quality of what you see maybe with me on the screen. But essentially, look, if the British flag offends you, then ultimately you're the one that's got issues. Because the way I see it is this. When you look at the other flags, right? So the LGBT flag, that's representative of the whole of their community. And they add more colours on pretty much each month, it seems, for a different section. You've got America. They revere their flag and display it without actually being called far right. Well, if that's the case, then why is the Union Jack considered only representative of the far right? The Union Jack is the flag for the whole of the UK, so it represents all of us. And so the waving the American flag or the LGBT flag doesn't attract any criticism, but the criticism comes in its droves when it comes to the Union Jack. So for me, it's like, why the double standard? Why do they not want us to wave the Union Jack? Why do they not want us to show how much pride we have in being British and being English?
Why indeed? Why indeed? Because I think these people hate us. That is the issue. And that is why the Raise the Colours campaign is so damn effective. Because how on earth can you listen to someone like Adil Ray, a growing adult who has a huge career, who actually has been a beneficiary, I would argue, of being someone who isn't white in this country, always choosing to see racism and bizarrely deciding to see a threat, an actual threat to his safety when he sees that glorious image arriving in Birmingham of the St. George's flag and the Union Jack. That is a troubled man. That is a man who we should be ignoring. And that is a man who does not represent the feelings of the United Kingdom. Can you believe that more than half of you are watching this video but not subscribed? So please do me a huge favor. Click the subscribe button now. Turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to all of our brand new Outspoken videos. But first, this episode of Outspoken is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. And I'm very excited to say the heat has officially arrived overseas. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the white hot special edition colorway from Manscaped, now available across the UK, Europe, and Australia too. Now, this is the same trimmer trusted by millions of men down below, now with a clean white and gold finish that looks just as smooth as it shaves. And it isn't just a pretty face. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is built to handle your most sensitive areas with care, helping reduce the risk of nicks, cuts, and irritation where it matters most. So whether you're cleaning things up for a date, a trip, or just to feel a bit more put together, the white hot trimmer makes below the waist grooming a whole lot smoother, literally. Join over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Use the code Outspoken for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. And let me tell you, the ladies in the Outspoken audience would really do well as using this as a fail-safe gift for your boyfriend, your husband, your son, your brother, your hard-to-buy-for best mate, because the blades are designed to glide over the skin with less tug and pull, helping the bloke in your life avoid the usual redness or irritation that comes with low-quality groomers. It's simple, it's effective, it doesn't require a whole routine. Just pick it up, clean up, and move on. Whether you're using it in the shower, on the glow, or standing over the sink before a night out, the White Hot 5.0 Ultra fits into your day without getting in the way. Plus, the white and gold design actually looks so good, I don't think you'd want to be hiding this away in the bottom drawer, right? White hot looks, smooth results. The White Hot 5.0 Ultra brings the heat without cooking your skin. It's sleek, easy to use, and way less terrifying than whatever you were using before. Use the code Outspoken for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. That's 15% off with the code Outspoken at manscaped.com. But now, back to the show.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.